Hello, good afternoon. I hope you're doing incredible. I'm really excited to talk to you today about moving from a reaction mindset to a prevention mindset. And why might that matter to you? Well, when you have a prevention mindset, it's less stressful, it's filled with health and well being, and your happiness increases tremendously. And also your feeling of being effective as a person. So, first let's look at what does it mean to have a reactionary mindset? You might have a reactionary mindset, autopilot, meaning that each is very similar and you're just rushing from activity to activity to activity. And then by the time you go to bed, you don't even know where your day went. That might be a sign of having a reactionary mindset. If you find yourself periodically throughout the day feeling stressed and reacting to situations, you might find you have a reactionary mindset. Now, I don't want anyone to feel bad. There's no reason to feel guilt or shame if you relate. It's actually very normal in our culture to have a reactionary mindset. It's what we see all around us. We live in a very fast paced world where multitasking is idealized and where our attention is going to lots of different places. So, very normal. But if you are interested in living your best life, your healthiest, best life, I'm going to highly recommend that you make sure you start adopting a prevention mindset. So, what does a prevention mindset look like? What it looks like is being crystal clear on what matters most to you, spending the bulk of your day on items that matter most to you, and feeling engaged in your life. So, when you have a prevention mindset, you usually feel more energized, happier, a little more balanced, and empowered. Okay, so how do we get to the prevention side? How do we embrace a prevention mindset? My first task of you is to get crystal clear on your why. And what I mean by that is asking yourself what matters most to me more than anything in the whole world. And whatever it is, make sure you write it down, make sure it's visible, and make sure you think about it a lot. So, for example, what matters most to me is building legacy and my family. Those are the two things that drive me. So that's step number one is know what matters most to you and know your why. And at any time, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments and definitely let me know that you're here. Or if you watch the replay, as you're watching the replay, say hello. Number two, we cannot adopt a prevention mindset if we don't have a system or mechanism for self assessment. What does that look like? Well, if you don't already have some sort of assessment, I recommend you use mine. And I'll put it in the comments now, and I'll also go back to all my platforms and offer a resource. So the assessment I like, it's a life circle assessment that looks at 12 areas of your life and you rate how you're doing, whether it's great, sort of okay, to excellent. Having a mechanism to assess yourself helps move you from reacting to a prevention mindset, because most people who are in a reactionary mindset have no idea what's happening inside. So that self-assessment really encourages you to be in the present moment, to be mindful right here, right now, paying attention to what's happening, collecting data from the most important place. You are the most important place. If you don't want to use my self-assessment form, make sure you have one. A good self-assessment form has you look at all aspects of your life, everything, not just so things you might look at are your eating, your sleep, your finances, your work, your personal development, your spiritual life, your relationships. Looking at yourself holistically and knowing in real time which areas you're doing well in and which areas need improving. Why is this important? Because if you want to have a prevention mindset, you need to be self-aware. And I want to encourage you to continuously be working on creating balance by identifying the area that you're doing least well in and improving it. It's very simple. A lot of people want to improve everything, and that's not the most effective way. The most effective way is when you do your self-assessment, one area. You pick one area to work on, and you do that by asking yourself, what's one small thing I can do to improve this area of my life? And whatever it is, you want to move from idea to action by writing it in a smart way. Specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic, and time sensitive. Very important part of the process. And then we go back to the why. So as you create your action step to improve the part of your life that's not doing the best, you make sure that you understand. So for example, if I'm assessing myself and I notice that the part I'm doing the worst in is my sleep. Let's say that's the part that needs help. So then I'll ask myself, what's one small thing I can do to improve my sleep? And I identify, well, I need to go to bed earlier. Okay, that's an idea. I want to make it smart. So I'll say something like, well, I will go to bed 30 minutes earlier every night for the next 7 days. That's a smart statement. Specific, measurable, action oriented, realistic. Is it realistic? Only you know? Yes, I can do it. And it's time sensitive. I know I would have accomplished it if I go to bed at a certain time, if I do it for 7 days. Now, remember I said tie it to your why. So I'm going to ask myself, how will going to bed benefit my family and building legacy? Well, when I sleep more, I'm nicer to my family, I'm less stressed, and I'm able to do more. Great. So that's the full circle. That's it. It may sound simple, but we are creatures of habit. And if it's become a habit to you to operate on autopilot, it's going to take some practice to change your mind. It's going to take some practice to know your why and think about it periodically. Assess yourself periodically so you know how you are doing. And whichever area, this takes discipline. Only work on one area. I know you want to work on all of them, but that one area that needs the most help, asking yourself, what's that one small thing you can do? Make it smart and then tie it to what matters most. I just shared a lot of information. I'm highly encouraging you to look at, I'll make sure I add in the comments a link to the Live Your Best Life guide. I give it away for free, and it'll include the assessment, instructions on how to connect to your why, and how to move from idea to action. I am rooting for your success. I know that if you work diligently on moving towards a prevention mindset, you'll be healthier and happier. And you matter. You matter so much. Okay, I'm rooting for your success and wishing you nothing but the best. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great day.